Welcome aboard, everybody. My name is Captain Nipson, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're playing Legend of the Dragoon. This is the second episode of Chapter 2. In the last episode, we did a lot of stuff going around Flets. We talked to a lot of people. We did a little shopping. We met Coffee, who is the who told us a lot about, she did tell us a lot. She progressed the story, told us about how much the Tiburoans love stars. She talked about Mr. Fletch, what's his, whatever. Well, here he is. This must be the house next door. Fester. I had a brain fart. I wonder if Mr. Fester's in. Ding, ding, ding. Maybe not? The lights are on, though. Let me see. Mr. Fester, are you home? Yes, I am. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was admiring the moon. Come on in, please. Let's talk inside. I'm gonna tell you right now, if that was me, I wouldn't have let some strangers in my house. We're here to ask you about the moon that never sets. Oh, about the moon that never sets. Wait here for a moment. Let me get some materials. You're interested in a weird matter. I don't think it's weird. There's a giant fucking moon in the sky that never goes away. How is everybody else not going, hey, I wonder what's up with that? I mean, it dominates the night sky. Also, you're like in the country of astronomy. You think the biggest thing in the sky y'all would be the most interested in. Sorry, little rant. Of course, I cannot make judgments about other people. Please take a look at this. So there's a cool little narrated cutscene.
In astronomy, a moon that never sets cannot exist.
Cannot exist?
That's right. Stars travel the sky by catching the winds of time. But this moon isn't affected by time. It never moves day or night. That's why it's called the moon that never sets. After counting 108 years, when the moon that never sets glows red, a moon child descends upon the earth to fill the world with holy bliss. A poem of yore telling the fate given by the moon. However, what we really get is the spawning of destruction and fear, that is, the Black Monster.
Black Monster.
Why a demon, not a blessing? What does it mean? The mystery has yet to be resolved.
Dun, dun, dun. I never imagined we would be able to get some information on the Black Monster here. Did you find this useful? Yeah, you think so too, right, Dart? Very good. It's a pleasure to be helpful to such a beautiful lady. So you can be cheeky here or ignore it. Obviously the answer if you do ship Dart and Shauna is ignore. I do ship these two together. Just because, it's kind of how it's meant to be. But I'll do this for fun. You said, who is beautiful? Hey! I guess there are many ways to see things. Whatever! Stop it. Having a good friend is beautiful. It makes me envious. Boom, boom. Ugh, my leg's going to sleep. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's getting late. I have to hurry up or I'll be making the princess wait. It's hard to eat only by astronomy. I'm acting as the governor of Princess Lisa as well. So there's two princesses, Emile and Lisa. Oh, if you want to take a good look at the moon that never sets, go upstairs and take a look through the telescope. It's set in the direction of the moon that never sets. Now, I'm heading to the castle. So it's still nighttime. I believe there's a Stardust in Fester's house. But let's go upstairs. Okay, never mind. No, it's not. This is the moon that never sets. So, just look at it real quick. I don't know about y'all. That didn't look like a regular moon to me. Even as a kid, I was like, hey, wait a second. Our moon doesn't look like that. But yeah, I was just like, huh. Okay, so it's still nighttime, so there's a couple things you can do. So you see this dude? He's a bandit. He looks like a fucking bird. I don't know if they're supposed to have like a plague mask. I'm not as suspicious looking at all. I'm a regular citizen who came out to feel the night breeze. Yeah, sure, dude. All the shops are closed, so you can't really do anything. This guy still won't let you in. So they're telling you that there's still stuff to be done out here. As you can see, there's still a couple doors to go in. You can't go in the church anymore. These houses that were closed earlier have opened up. So you can come in here and talk to this dude. Even though we just got married, we still go to sleep before Nello. Are you asking me for the reason? You should know. I'm sorry, I showed my age there. But yes, yeah, no, he's insinuating, yeah, man, we fucking. You can come up here, talk to the wife. She talks about the stars. Nothing important. I don't believe there's a star. Even though it's night, this plant looks strangely peppy. Okay, I don't think there's a Stardust in this house. If I'm wrong, in the great Stardust hunt. Oh, you cannot leave. They warn you. A curfew's been ordered for your protection from bandits. So basically, you can't leave the city at this point. As long as it's daytime, you're good to go. Not that the bandits would prove to be much of a problem. So obviously the last place to go is this house. And this is the famous Mr. Nello that everybody's been talking about. Welcome, I'm Nello, the representative of the Green Project, turning the brown barrens to green, the deserts to forest. Don't be so shy. You too wish to bring green back to the earth, don't you? So in order to progress the story, say yes, we do. If you say no, he's like, well, come back to me when you're more interested. Yeah, we do. I thought so, but it's already late. It'll take a whole night to explain my plan. A whole night, huh? But actually, it's okay with us. Because if you try to go to the end, I think if you knock on the door, they say it's full. We were in trouble because there was nowhere to stay for the night. We're not allowed to leave town either. I see, plenty of time to tell you about the Green Project then. The revegetation of the desert is a very interesting issue, right? In principle, the relationship between humans and the earth should be. Oh boy. And they're just gonna yap. Watching the buds. Maybe They're some kind of flower buds. They are some kind of flower buds. I've never seen anything like this. I wonder how they bloom. You're excited about it, aren't you? Talking about buds. You've always liked to see flowers blooming. You remember that? Humans should grow up surrounded by greenery. Exactly. Green not only gives peace of mind, but brings us marvelous things. Your whole outfit is green, Albert. Of course you're biased. Fruits, vegetables, delicious air, all are brought by greenery. I guess they really will talk until morning. The king has such curiosity. Hope we can fill Celis with green someday. Yeah. The issue here is how to promote the greening. That's the key issue. The research requires a lot of money. Talk about in real life. I can't remember what country it is, but I think I want to say it's in the Middle East or Africa. A group of scientists have figured out how to re-vegetize the desert by digging holes, not deep holes, but like 6 foot wide holes that are like a couple feet, really kind of like a golf ball dimple, but scaled up. I'm sorry, that's the best way I can explain it. And apparently that allows water and moisture and stuff to collect in this. And these slopes actually allow plant seeds to be able to stick long enough to take root. I don't know the extent of how far they've gotten, but they've had great success. However, on the flip side, I'm not an expert, and I'm not going to be able to probably find the article, but I've also read things where it's like, hey, yeah, getting rid of the desert's not as great as we think it is. Because the desert does actually have, deserts do have large roles in environments. I know everybody that lives like out in Nevada and stuff, they're like, yeah, we need to figure out how to get rid of, to bring vegetation to the desert because we have no water. As a lot of people that have common sense will go, yeah, you're in a desert. Water is hard to come by. And now that like Las Vegas, Reno, Phoenix, these places that are like in the desert and their population density is so high, they cannot keep up with demand of water. A huge indicator of this is Lake Tahoe out there. If you look at like the water level from like 2 decades ago versus today, they're draining that lake dry. Like it is shrunk to like a way less than half of what it used to be, if not to like a fourth of what it used to be. And that's because they supplement rainwater with the lake water, and because they're using so much water, it can't replenish itself. We as a society are going to have to figure out a way to either solve that issue, or move away, because eventually there's just not going to be water, and well, can't live without water, so people will move to places that do have water, hopefully. I don't know. I've been to Vegas. It's okay. It's overrated. There are no signs of Lloyds after all. I cannot imagine that Emperor Dole told us a lie. In his last moment, my uncle was himself again. I think we can trust the information that Lloyd headed for Tiburoa. So we should assume that we crossed paths with Lloyd. So where in the world? In any case, the king is getting along with a motley crew like us. I was concerned at first. I even imagined that we were going to be pushed around by the king's eco. Please stop teasing me, both of you. What I would like you to do is just treat me as an equal, as a friend traveling together. Dart is not good at speaking with courtesy. He gets cramps in his tongue when he tries for a long time. I appreciate your solicitude, Your Majesty. Let's stop using that, Your Majesty. We'll be in trouble if anybody hears that. I mean, anyway, the priority is to pursue Lloyd. This is not the only town in Tibaroa. If my memory is correct, there should be a town called Danao along the North Sea shore. Let's go there now. Okay, let's leave as soon as possible. So, that's little cutscene is telling you, hey, there's nothing else you can do in Flets, so let's move on. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I do want to point out, like Albert made the comment, we can't let people hear that he's, you know, we can't call him Your Majesty because people will hear it. They might. Okay, I forgot what button turned off the green arrows, and I was like, where are my arrows? Not that I really need them for the most part anymore. Oh yeah, come back to the bar and talk to Martel, our friend. You don't you want to talk about something else, like stars? How many times do I have to say it? I want to hear about stardust, not just stars. I told you that if I don't know about it, nobody knows about it. So don't you want to talk about something else? Coffee, you literally told us that Fester knew more about stars than you, so obviously people know more about stuff than her. You know it? Yeah, I do. You're back again, but my boss is not in yet. So, you know what? I have a good idea. Here, she wants to talk about stardust. Thanks. So, what was that all about? You must be folks who bumped into me in Bale, aren't you? Sorry about that. It's okay. By the way, what were you talking about? Stardust. You look like you've traveled all over the world. I might as well just ask you about it. Stardust is a miracle stone, and if you collect them all, your wish comes true. And I have a favor to ask you. Why don't you give me the stardust if you find some? Of course, I didn't say for free. I'll give you something rare that I found on my journey in return. What do you think? Not bad, huh? You don't have to, but if you happen to find some on your journey, remember me, will you? So, I decided to stay in this town for a while. So, you could have already found enough stardust to give her some items. You would have to go visit her in Bale. But a lot of people, after you bump into her when you're leaving Bale, so unless you turn around to specifically seek Martel out, you won't actually know. I think I showcased that off right when we bumped her during the first disc, but if I didn't, I believe she stays in the inn in like the lobby area. She's always in a public place that you will have to visit on more than one occasion usually. Hint, hint, wink, nudge, nudge, for this bar, you will have to come back here again. But so for every 10 stardust you give her, you get a special item, a very rare item. It might not be one of a kind. The first item she gives you at 10 is the physical ring, which, scroll down, it raises your HP by 50%. So as soon as you're able to, and if you're good at, and you have more than 10, at least turn in the first 10, because 50% of your HP is nothing to sneeze at on any of the characters. Like, at all. In fact, I'm gonna give it to Rose to just give her some more HP, because she's not the most tanky. Some people give it to Shauna. I honestly just prefer giving her the physical ring or the therapy ring right now. It just allows her to keep spamming magic a little bit longer. Extra HP would too, but this is a little I don't know. Because you can't stack multiple accessories. We're gonna stay one night. Just heal up. Just because when you put that accessory on, your HP doesn't go up. So she'll start off with like half HP basically. But let's move on to Tiburoa. So like I said, Tiburoa is kind of based on the Mediterranean. It's surrounded by oceans. Okay. So you can do one of two things from here. You can go back this way to oh dang it, what's the name of the country? We were literally just there. Sardio. You can go back to Sardio to go and visit some places. If you want to, you can go back to Lohan if you, for whatever reason, decided now you want to grind up for 10 grand to get one of those Uber defense items. You can also
Die. More and more.
You know what? We're gonna do it because I don't really want to go to the next dungeon because the next dungeon, while short, is annoying. So whenever you get to this, it's called the barrier station. You can choose north of Sardio or south of Sardio. So basically, you're either going to come out by Lohan, which is south, or north, which is take you out closer to Hoeks. We're going to go to the north, and this will take you out by Hoeks. Now, in the base game, you have to swap disc to go from anywhere in chapter 2 to anywhere in chapter 1. That was one of the limitations of the game. So normally the game would be like, oh, please load disc 1, which if you're playing this physically, you would have to actually open up the disc tray on the PS1 or PS2 and pop in the first disc of Legend of Dragoon to come back to this area. Now, nothing else changes. The game runs fine. No issues like that. You can go back and visit Hoeks if you want. There's nothing there, to my knowledge. We're going to Bale for a very specific reason.
Die. More and more.
And a lot of people either don't know or they don't really bother after they do it the first time. For what I'm showing you. I want to show it off because I feel like it's worth showing off, and also it adds a little bit more to the depth of the world.
Die.
So before you defeated Emperor Dole, you could not get access to the capital city of Bale. You had to defeat Dole. Even after getting out of Helena and with King Albert, you could try to get to Bale, but it's just cut off. So this is the first time after beating Chapter 1, you're able to come back to Bale, to my knowledge. Because, well, I mean, yeah, you could, instead of doing story, as soon as the game loads in Chapter 2, you could turn around. So this is the girl that asked for Lavit's portrait, and she says she don't want to paint any more portraits because she remembers Lavitz. Actually, this game file right here, it's very hard to see, but that is Lavitz's actual face. I can't remember. I've seen what it looks like front onwards. There's ways to find it on the internet. It might be also in the credits of the game. But we're here to visit Lavitz's mom. Hold on. Forgot this one. So you can come and talk to Lavitz's mom. That's all she says. But it does. I really wish, and maybe Drew Universe, if you are still watching my series, I would love for the dev team to add a little dialogue here, maybe with just Dart and Shauna, or hell, the whole, well, everybody that knew Lavitz, maybe Albert, Shauna, and Dart having a full-on conversation with Lavitz's mom. You know, I think that would add a lot of depth to the game. I'm not sure how hard it would be to do that, even if it's just dialogue and they don't actually, you know, split up out of the character. I think it'd be something cool to add in, because it would make worth coming back here, because otherwise there's no point. But I think it's important. So these are the people that that you saved in the plains. Remember that family? They're here. I'm not sure where the daughter is. She might be upstairs. In fact, I think yep, he's in the library. Oh no, it is the girl. Yeah, so she don't want to talk to you. Can you? I'm curious, I've never gone out here. Ah, okay. So there's nothing. Oh, what? Oh, whoa, hold on. I've never. New discovery. 20 years of this game being out. I've never done this. Okay, let's try that again. Now that I know there's quick QTEs. Can we? Hello? Okay. Whew. That was a little tricky there. Okay. Hop over. And then I'm just gonna whew, okay, this is tedious. I was, you know, hoping for like maybe 1 or 2, not 10. And I know I've never done this, but one would think this would be a Stardust location, but no. There's a healing breeze. Huh. That's worth it. That is absolutely worth it. I wonder... Oh, wait, I'm just going to fall. I wonder if you can get to that item before you beat Chapter 1. Because, I mean, the Healing Breeze would be useful to pick up for Dole. Okay. But I believe this is the inn that Martell would normally be in. I think she sits like right here or something. Okay. Just wanted to show y'all that off, that you can go back to Bale and talk to Lavitz's mom. There's not much of a dialogue, but, you know. And hey, I showed you where a hidden item is that I did not know.
Hush! Hush! Die! More and more!
Bum, 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 bum. All right, so we're gonna go back to Tibaroa, and we will go to the next dungeon, which is the Barrens. And in the words of the GameFAQs game guide I read when I used to beat this game when I was a kid, that the Barrens is your new home. You will have to go through the Barrens numerous times. And I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a minimum of 5 times. Just for, if you do just the story, like you don't go back to Fletz or Lohan or anything like that. outside of story reasons. It is 5 times over the course of, actually it might be 6. And that's because in the chapter 2, you spend a lot of your time having to do, not fetch quests, but you have to go and talk to this character who's in this city. Then you have to make your way to the other city. Choose Tiburoa here, unless you want to go to South of unless you want to go to Lohan. So we're gonna come this way. Bum, 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 bum. And spinning cane. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Obviously, it's not really worth it to grind on enemies. However, I was really hoping I could make it to the dungeon. Whack!
Die. More and more.
Bum 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 bum. Alrighty. So. Oh, nope. Let's go. Alright, we're gonna end this episode here. Because the first time through the Barrens is probably going to be its own episode. Just because I'm going to show you where all the treasure chests are that you can get to the first time through and all that. But if you guys like what y'all are seeing, please like and comment. If you really like what you're seeing and you want to support the channel, I would love for y'all to subscribe, provide as much support as, show a little love. That way I'll keep going. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.